Determining PID controller constants is a common problem faced by engineers. In this presentation, I want to introduce you to two of the most commonly used methods and also how they are evaluated using Flownex. Some of the most common methods use the step response of a system to calculate PID constants. Two of these methods are the Ziegler-Nichols open loop method and the Cohen-Kuhn method. The Ziegler-Nichols method is probably the most widely used because it's quite simple to calculate. The Cohen-Kuhn method involves a bit more calculations, but it is still easy to use and it is suited to a wider array of processes. Both of these methods work by generating a response curve from a step input in your control output. Some parameters are read from these curves and then used in calculations to determine the P, I, and D constants. Here is just a short overview of where to use the Ziegler-Nichols method and where not to use it. In general, it works well with temperature and gas pressure control systems. It works moderately poorly on flow loops and liquid pressure loops, and where this method isn't applicable, you can use the Cohen-Kuhn method. Like previously said, the Cohen-Kuhn method is suited to a wider variety of processes, and also it is one of the few methods that you can use for PID controllers if that is what you desire. Let's look quickly at the Ziegler-Nichols method. You generate a step response, calculate the change in your control output, calculate the change in your process variable, calculate the dead time, that is the time from your change in control output until the time where a tangent line on the response curve intercepts the original level of your process variable. Then after that you calculate tau, which is the difference of this time intercept, until the time where your process variable reaches 63% of the final value. After this, you need to determine your process gain. For this, you need to determine your control output range and your process variable range. And using these, you can determine the change in process variable as a percentage, the change in control output as a percentage, and divide these two to give you your process gain. Finally, you will calculate K0, which is calculated by using tau divided by your dead time times your process gain. And Ko is then simply used to calculate the P, Pi, and PID constants according to this table. We can now quickly switch to Flownex, where we can see how such a curve is generated from a step response. In Flownex we have this model where a pump is being driven by an electrical model and it causes a flow through a pipe. The goal of our controller is to control the flow through the piping system by changing your electrical motor speed. We will start by setting our controller in manual mode so that we can control our control output ourselves, and using our actions we will change this control output at a time 50 from 2500 RPM to 2600 RPM. The data that is generated during the simulation will then be logged to a report we have set up. The speed input for the motor and the total mass flow will be recorded to this report. Let's start the run. As you can see, at time 50 our control output changes from 2500 RPM to 2600 RPM, and a step change in mass flow is generated. We can now go and look at our report that was generated. Here we can see the data that was logged to this report in nice tabular format automatically by Flownex, and some graphs that I've set up. The important times that we want is the time from the control input start to the intercept of your line with the 0 value. This is the dead time, and also we want the time when our process value has reached 63%. All of these values can very easily be calculated, and here is a sheet I use to calculate that. We want to know the minimum and maximum possible control values. So our lowest possible speed is 0, highest is 2900. These speeds we also want to determine the minimum and maximum flows. That can easily be done by in Flownex. If we set our speed to the maximum value of 2900 RPM, we can quickly solve and see that our maximum flow is 1.18 kilograms per second, and that we have entered into our sheet. Also, we can determine the minimum and maximum responses due to our control output change by looking at the data that was logged. Also, we know that our minimum and maximum control outputs are 2500 and 2600. And finally, we calculate what magnitude is the process value at 63% of the total change in process value. We can then go and look up quickly on the left hand side of our table at which time this value is reached. Entering your control output start, your start of your response, the time of your 63% response value gives you your dead time and tau, and using all of these we can calculate our process gain and K0. Using those we can easily calculate the P, I and D constants for the different situations. Entering those constants into our PID controller and setting the controller to auto instead of manual, we can now run our simulation, and if we want to go to a different set point, we can see how our controller operates. And we can see a very nicely controlled system that goes to our set point value in a very controlled and smooth manner, exactly what we want. Now on to our next example. A similar method that has wider applicability is the Cohen-Kuhn method. As you can see, it follows roughly the same pattern where you change the control output, determine a step response, determine your dead time, determine tau, and determine the time at which you reach 63% of your total process variable change. The biggest difference in the Cohen-Kuhn method is then the way that the different constants are calculated for your P, I, and D constants. Slightly more complicated, but still quite simple. We can switch to Flownex to show how this is done. In exactly the same fashion as before, we set our controller to manual mode. We have set up an action that will change the motor speed from 2500 to 2600 RPM, and we will send this data to a Excel report that we have set up. Let's open our Excel report. We can see the data has been logged again in nice tabular format with a graph of our response, our control change, and a closer detail graph of our response. Here we have our slope line with which we can determine our dead time, and like before we have our process value minimums and maximums, our control range, our responses to the step minimum and maximum, at which value we have 63% of our response, so we can go and get the relevant time. The control output minimum and maximum. From here we calculate our dead time, tau, and our process gain. Then we have a few formulas that implement these equations, and we easily calculate our P, I, and D constants. Entering these P, I, and D constants and changing our controller to auto mode, we can see how this specific controller operates. Let's change our set point value, and you will see a very nicely controlled and smooth transition to our set point value. In short, this is a simple tutorial to show you how PID controller parameters can be determined. Flowings can be used to easily determine step responses of a system, and the reporting capability can be used to log these responses so that the key parameters can be calculated. And using these key parameters, the P, I, and D constants for your controller is calculated. Then entering these P, I, and D constants into your PID controller gives you the ability to evaluate the effectiveness of your control strategy on your system. The Flownex control system library consists of many other powerful control components that you can use to prototype your specific control strategy.